Hello and welcome to How's That? It's a pleasure to have you with us today. And with us is Vijay Lokpally, my friend and colleague as always. Vijay, another good game for Mumbai Indians, a fifth successive win for them, and they have got to the top of the table.
Very good morning, and it's a very auspicious day. Let me wish you a happy Navratri, which begins today. I mean, the season of festivities. What do you say?
Yes, of course, it is the season of festivity, one of even soul searching, if you wish to connect with oneself, then you connect with the Supreme Being, obviously, but also one where people have to be careful. I've seen people on the roads, and I would like them to be wearing masks. I would like them to keep as much physical distance as is possible, celebrate, but mindfully.
Absolutely. I mean, you maintain your social distancing, you wear your masks, and please ensure that it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't get worse. So you have your festival, celebrate, but with caution.
Yes, Vijay. Last night, celebrations were set off by Mumbai Indians. Terrific bowling performance to begin with, and then Quinton de Kock playing that wonderful knock to take them home very, very comfortably.
Yes, the pressure is off Rohit Sharma because De Kock is getting his runs now. So that is very good development for the Mumbai Indians team. They have looked very strong and they're sitting at the top of the table with Delhi Capitals, giving a stiff competition. And I think we have not we're going to start enjoying this intense battle now to make it to the playoffs. So obviously it will raise the standard of the matches also, and one can expect some superlative performances.
KKR, of course, tried something different yesterday, announcing a change of captaincy. Apparently, Dinesh Karthik wanted to quit captaincy so that he could focus on his batting. And then they made Owen Morgan captain of the side. Did not have too much luck except with the toss, which he won and decided to bat. But it must have been very frustrating, Vijay, for the captain to see the kind of shots that his teammates were playing and getting out.
See, that is what, if you remember, Rajaraman, that is what Dhoni has been saying all this while. I mean, if you also have to, you must have some sense of responsibility when you're playing at this level. You can't expect the captain and the coach to keep telling you what you're supposed to do once you step onto the field. And it reminds me of Mohammad Azharuddin. He also used to say the same thing. He said, at this level, you should know what you're supposed to do. And Morgan, of course, I mean, he had no choice. If Dinesh Karthik doesn't want to lead, he's probably comfortable not leading the team. But Morgan is in a very, very difficult spot in the sense he will have to perform extraordinarily for KKR to make it to the playoffs.
He showed positive intent along with Pat Cummins when they were in dire straits. Morgan did show positive intent, Vijay. Let's watch what he had to say at the press conference last night about KKR's decision to bring him on as captain.
Yeah, I think within a team of leaders, and given that myself and Dinesh were titled leaders in captain and vice captain, I think there'll be a smooth transition from here. I think it took a lot of courage for DK and actually quite a lot of selflessness from him to come forward and recognise that within himself he wanted to focus on his batting for the remainder of the tournament and take the vice captaincy up. And therefore I became captain. It's obviously a very good opportunity for me to lead the team, but like I said, within our group of players we have a number of leaders that we will need throughout this competition.
I think the beauty of people from overseas is they accept just about every challenge that is thrown to them, even at short notice. And we got to see Morgan show grace and humility in taking on the leadership role, and then acknowledging that there are many other leaders within the team.
Morgan has performed this leadership role at a much bigger stage. I mean, if you remember the last year's World Cup, winning it for England, again, I mean, very good captaincy. He showed great control over the team, which is what he's supposed to bring it here. But he will need support from everyone. The top four batsmen will have to click, and then the bowling will have to improve. And I mean, Shubman Gill started with a lot of promise, but he's not contributing as he should be contributing. And Dinesh Karthik will also will have to show far more consistency.
I think the top four for Kolkata Knight Riders had a very forgettable match yesterday. They would be hoping to make amends when the team comes back and plays its next game. But Pat Cummins and Eoin Morgan showed a lot of character in pulling the chestnuts out of the fire and giving the side a reasonably good total to defend.
Yeah, it was a reasonably good total, but then that would have happened if the bowlers had contributed collectively. You can't. I mean, Cummins performed his role as a batsman, and then he had to essentially mainly do the take care of the bowling part, and he needed support. But I think the opposition was well prepared.
Interesting though, Vijay, Pat Cummins getting that half century. The interesting part is Eoin Morgan attributed his batting to his golf abilities. Let's watch what Morgan had to say about Pat Cummins's batting.
Here we've actually looked at Pat as an all-rounder. I think the thing that he's really been focusing on is his golf on this trip so far. It's made a huge difference in his batting and the striking of a ball. He's been hitting a golf ball really well.
That must have been said more in jest than anything else. Of course, some of the cricketers play good golf, and we got to see Pat Cummins play a couple of very, very attractive shots. But I like the pull shot that he played. It showed the control of a good all-rounder rather than a tail-ender who came in early and struck a few blows.
Absolutely, and it looks like his most productive or maybe his best shot because of the height. I mean, he can play the shot very well. The ball is not really coming up so at a height which would cause discomfort to him. And in any case, once you make up your mind, you're predetermined to play a particular shot. And that's what Cummins was doing. I mean, he was deciding, premeditating, and hitting the ball.
We should also watch what Morgan had to say about the top order batsman. I think he was very kind when he came to the press conference. Did not castigate the top order, but let's watch what he had to say about the batting.
With the bat early on, I thought we made a few mistakes. I thought Mumbai Indians bowled really well and proved exactly why they have been one of the form teams in the tournament so far. And from here on in, you know, it's in another area of improvement that we need to make strides on. We've just passed the halfway stage in the tournament, and there's no better time to turn things around. I think given the strength and depth that we have in our batting lineup and the different skill levels and skill sets that we have to be as adaptable as possible going forward with playing against different oppositions. There are different matchups that we feel we can make the most of our batting lineup, hence the continued change in the order.
Not much to speak about as far as KKR's batting goes, Vijay, but we got to see a ruthless streak from Mumbai Indians. There was no experimentation. There was no attempt to take the foot off the pedal, and they kind of kept throttling KKR. Mumbai Indians was wonderful on the field.
Yeah, and there's no need for them. I mean, if it's a well-oiled machine, as they say, and if it's working very well, they can step on the throttle once they near those decisive knockout games. But here, I think they have a plan, and each is performing his role beautifully. So I think it is as of now, it is looking a very, very compact side.
You had high quality bowlers making the most of the green on the pitch yesterday. Trent Bolt, of course, and Jasprit Bumrah bowling their hearts out. But it was also good to see a change, that one change that Mumbai Indians made to the lineup, giving Nathan Coulter-Nile a game so that he could be prepared just in case of an eventuality. Was also good to see him come and bowl the way he did.
Yes, and this whole lot, I liked the fact that Bolt was able to swing the ball. I mean, he enjoys when the conditions slightly help him. So I don't know if he is very good at exploiting the conditions. And last night he did look the bowler that he is, swinging the ball so beautifully.
But Vijay, there was an outstanding performance by a Mumbai Indians bowler. While of course Jasprit Bumrah's bouncer to Andre Russell will be talked about for some time, and the manner in which he has kept getting Russell out will be talked for some time. It was actually Rahul Chahar who held everybody's attention. 2 wickets in the span of an over, and getting Shubman Gill out, and then Dinesh Karthik, both to perhaps fall short, but he induced those false strokes from both of them and became a hero last night.
Yes, in fact, that those two wickets probably put a halt on KKR's ambitions to make a match of it, because losing Gill and Karthik of successive deliveries was tough for them to come back. In Morgan, they did try, and yes, Cummins also was there, but I think it was going to be a very tough battle for KKR.
It continued to be tough, Vijay, when they came back and defended a score of less than 150. It continued to challenge them. You needed a Pat Cummins to take early wicket. That did not happen. And then Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock got off to a good partnership. And then there was really no hope for KKR after that.
Yeah, for KKR, it was imperative that they make an early dent. And that is where I'm saying Mumbai Indians, they are now it's a very confident team. With de Kock batting so beautifully, Rohit Sharma also, coming into his own and threatening to kind of take away the fight from the opposition single-handedly. So here I think KKR did try, but they were up against a very, very determined opposition.
While you got to see Varun Chakravarti bowl a good spell, did KKR miss a trick, Vijay, in not including Sunil Narayan? They seem to be a little scared of him getting reported a second time during the tournament and missing out on the rest of the tournament as a bowler. But I really think that they should be bowling him, because just the mention of Sunil Narayan sometimes can cause opposition to think twice before playing the big shot. Their bowling did not have the same look as it would with Sunil Narayan in it.
Yes, and then see, if you will have to play him at some point, right? So if you want to try him, it is better to try him now. At least you would know the options you would have in the later games. So there is no point keeping him out, and he will always be under scrutiny whenever he comes in play. He is bound to be under scrutiny. So let him try and check himself in the very next match, so that at least you know where the team stands vis-a-vis Narayan.
So even if they're not willing to play Sunil Narayan, I thought they would have tried someone like a Kuldeep Yadav, who doesn't depend on the track for assistance, but whose craft is in his wrist and his large heart. I would have expected KKR to try out that left arm spin bowler, but they seemed a little reluctant to play him this time.
Reluctant, there could be many reasons. Very hard to know if he's short of confidence, if he's short of match practice, because he must be bowling in the nets, and that is where the coaches, the team management, the think tank comes to assess a player, because there is no other platform for them to check. So maybe he is not making an impression at the nets. So that could be one of the reasons why they're reluctant to throw him into a match situation.
Let us watch what the skipper has to say about Kuldeep Yadav not being included in the 11 yesterday.
I think given the circumstances that dictate where the spinners turn the ball, or potentially in a day game, I think the evidence showed tonight that the ball didn't turn a great deal, so hence there wasn't an opportunity for KT.
Morgan, of course, saying that the pitch doesn't offer too much assistance to the spinners, the ball not getting to break off the track. But Vijay, Kuldeep Yadav never really relied on the pitch for the ball to break so much. He's got great skill himself. With a little bit of backing by the captain and the team management, he could be a match-winning bowler.
He is a match-winning bowler. He is a match-winning bowler, and he has too many tricks also. He will need one game, and he will need the backing of the captain. The captain will have to tell him that, look, boy, you may go for runs, but we are going to back you. So come and bowl your 4 overs. whatever happens, we'll take care of it. So that's the kind of assurance some bowlers, especially spinners, need from their captains.
Vijay, it was a one-sided game in the end. Quinton de Kock, Rahul Chahar, who's your most valuable player from last night?
I'll pick the left-handed batsman, yes, De Kock, because he set the trend. He created the platform, right, for the team to win. And my valuable player would be De Kock.
I would go with Rahul Chahar because of the impact he had on the game. I think he set up the game. He made most people tune off their television sets after he picked up those 2 wickets. And then when Andre Russell got out to Jasprit Bumrah, and that was a peach of a delivery, Vijay, from Jasprit Bumrah.
Yes.
The game was all but over. Everything was over, bar the shouting. Rahul Chahar for me, because of the way in which he bowled and the manner in which he commanded respect from the batsmen yesterday. I think the game was decided when a spinner made a difference on a track like that. We have been supported really strongly by North Stand Gang in Mumbai. One of its members, Bhagyesh Joshi, has this question about Royal Challengers Bangalore.
RCB began their IPL 2020 campaign on winning note versus SRH. Barring the Super Over win versus Mumbai Indians, they have lost comprehensively versus Kings 11 Punjab and Delhi Capitals. Glancing on RCB's IPL record, it's not that great with 80 wins in 168 matches, although they qualified for playoffs in 5 seasons, but from 2017 they didn't progress beyond the league stage. In 2016, Virat Kohli set the record for most runs in IPL, 973 runs, but RCB fell short by 8 runs in the final. What's ailing RCB from season 1? Virat Kohli, in spite of having prolific record of international level, is unable to lift RCB at the greatest level, or is it that RCB let go of players from the franchisee?
Super question, Bhagyesh. Virat Kohli, of course, is a world-class batsman. Everybody knows that, does not bear repetition. But franchise cricket is very different. You got a set of youngsters along with you. You got some overseas player as well. Finding the team balance. Cricket has never been a one-man sport. It has never been won by only a batsman or only a bowler. Of course, there have been instances where people have won matches, but to win a tournament over 16 or 17 games, the challenge is to find consistency not only from one player, but from everybody in the side. And until that happens, whether it is Royal Challengers Bangalore or Delhi Capitals, you're not going to win a tournament. So it's difficult. It does not stain Virat Kohli's captaincy ability. He's trying his best. He's trying to lead by example. And I'm sure this year, with a very good bowling attack now, especially after Chris Morris has regained his fitness and has lent a sharp edge to the attack, you will get to see a different Royal Challengers Bangalore. They will make a run for the playoff, and you can expect them to be in the running, even though Mumbai and Delhi look the strongest outfits at this point in time.
And I think he talks about the franchises picking certain players and not picking certain players. See, choice is theirs. They have a team of cricket minds, in fact, who guide them when they pick a player. And what they keep in mind is the home conditions, right? Like say RCB would look at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, but unfortunately here the situation has changed. They are not playing at Chinnaswamy Stadium, so that equation had to change. So that is one. I think that is a very crucial point for them. And Radharaman, let me quickly tell you that this Bhagyesh, from an early age, he has been maintaining a scrapbook of scorecards and very crucial, critical turning points of a particular match. So someday I think I would love to, and you also would love to see that scrapbook of his. I have always loved, because for one reason I remember watching Michael Atherton, who makes it a point to go and sit in the stand. So I followed him when I was doing a test match at Calcutta, and I went and sat with him, and he had his notebook taking all the notes, and the feel of the crowd, and when you sit with them, you get to know how much they follow the sport. The same happened in Dharamshala when India-Australia test match. I was fascinated by the knowledge of the fans. I mean, it was as good as any of the journalists. So it is great fun to go and sit in the stands.
All right, Vijay, it is time for us to train our thoughts on the two games tonight. You have Rajasthan Royals taking on Royal Challengers Bangalore in the opening game. Bangalore will want to make amends for that debacle in that last game.
Yes, and Rajasthan Royals will have a tough time, no doubt, but they are looking up. Last couple of games they had improved, and they have the wherewithal to stop RCB, and RCB will have to work really hard.
I think the arrival of Ben Stokes has made a difference to how the Rajasthan Royals are looking. They are very competitive at this point of time. They need to get their acts together and not leave everything to Rahul Tewatia every time. The top order needs to fire and fire in unison. And if that happens, I think we are in for a very good game tonight.
Oh yes, I mean if Sanju Samson, Steve Smith, and Ben Stokes, if they get going, obviously RCB will be in trouble.
The other game features Chennai Super Kings against Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals, of course, sitting pretty, but Chennai Super Kings are ready to make that run for the playoff. Typical of Chennai Super Kings, wanting to find their form in the second half of the tournament and surprise everyone else.
Chennai Super Kings to me is the most dangerous team in the IPL ever, because they can come back from any position, and this is the right time for them to show that they have the mental aptitude to come back when everybody writes them off. So Delhi Capitals will have to be at their best. Delhi Capitals also has performed exceedingly well until now. So we can expect a classic encounter tonight.
I think the Delhi Capitals bowlers will steal this game tonight, Vijay. Small ground in Sharjah, but I think the Delhi Capitals bowlers will be the heroes tonight.
You're right. You're right. I mean, they could be the heroes, but I expect Chennai Super Kings to gain control early through their top three batsmen.
Right, Vijay. On that note, I'm going to take leave of you and hope to catch up with you tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much.